大家好, and welcome to Season 2 of White Gaze, where we whites gaze upon the drama,
the looks,
and the language of our newest favorite Chinese television show, Empresses in the Palace, otherwise known as
甄嬛传.
My name's Trenty.
And I'm Big Westi.
And this is our premiere episode for Season 2. And we're so excited to share with you this episode. However, we do have a couple things we need to get out of the way before we share that with you.
We recorded these next two episodes months ago.
Many months ago.
Before Trenty was sent to the Cold Palace.
I was sent to the Cold Palace for reasons that I will not disclose on the pod quite yet. All will be revealed when I read you next Tuesday, when we post all of our new episodes, because of course they come out on Tuesdays now.
There we go.
But yes, these episodes were recorded a long time ago, so that's why maybe we'll sound different. We've gone through different life experiences since then.
Another night, another dream.
And starting from, I believe, episode 17?
16.
16? No, that's today.
Yeah.
I mean the new ones.
16 and 17, yeah.
No, I mean when we will record the new ones.
Oh, we'll record 18.
Okay, starting from 18, they're going to be fresher than fresh.
But we also do not have the help of Demi anymore.
Demi is no longer with us. I believe she's still alive, but she's just no longer posting.
That's something that Sydney says all the time. Rip to Demi. She's not dead. She's just no longer with us.
But yeah, I think we've said all that needs to be said. We're so glad to be back.
And here is episode 16.
Dachahao, and welcome to White Gaze, where we whites gaze upon the drama,
the looks,
and the language of our newest favorite Chinese television show, Empresses in the Palace, otherwise known as
甄嬛传.
And today we are recapping episode 16.
Sadly, this is the last episode that we have the help of Demi.
Demi, we are such big fans of your work. We hope you come back to us, but we thank you for your service and we salute you.
And don't listen to those hating ass bitches on the comments in your blog.
Well, no, they're not hating her.
Anybody who is being slandered by the comments on her blog, do not listen.
Yeah, you are not welcome on this pod. We are here by the graciousness and by the charity of the people who translate the show for us. So we don't tolerate any criticisms of them.
But we do make criticisms of them.
But we do it with love in our hearts.
Well, it's not criticisms. It's just like, well, maybe that doesn't make any sense to me. But maybe it does to you.
Well, why don't we get back into what happened last episode?
In the last episode, we found out that Shen Meizhuang is in fact not pregnant. And it was beginning to affect Zhenhuan as well.
Yeah, there's this whole idea that maybe she was faking it on purpose this whole time.
And it's just like that guilty by association because they are best friends that she is involved in it somehow.
And Shen Meizhuang is in Pussy Prison, and we never see her this entire episode.
But at the end of the episode, we do see that the Emperor is visiting Zhenhuan. And she's being strategic about not talking about anything wrong. Or about not talking about Shen Meizhuang. But instead making the Emperor talk about her.
Right. So we end the episode with her maybe being back in good graces.
And we start the episode finding out that she is back in good graces because she goes out of her palace and she sees that there's a nice plant there now. Not the ugly plant. There's a nicer plant. And the girls are all talking about it. They're like, ooh, what did you do to get back in good favor? And Zhenhuan is like, I can't read his mind. I don't know what he's thinking.
She's being cautious. But Xiao Yunzi is really gassing her up. Xiao Yunzi is like, well, he wouldn't have done this and this and that if he didn't love you again. So Congratulations, you're back.
And then we cut to Jinping and the Emperor playing...
Uzichi.
Yeah, the little game with the white and black marbles.
Now, you and I played this.
Yeah, I'm not very good at it.
When we went to Mogoshan, I was the champion. I won every game except for 2. And in those games, it was against Monty, who grew up playing the game. So there was a disadvantage for me.
I also think I was just distracted by the heat.
The heat, the bugs. There were a lot of natural things going on that we couldn't get your head in the game, as they say. But the new head of the household department comes in because he's like, Your Majesty, I don't know what the fuck to do. Last year we got all of this eyebrow pencil from Anastasia Beverly Hills. This year they've only sent us 3 boxes. So what do you expect me to do?
Last year we got a year's supply, but this time we only got a sickening supply.
And so the emperor's kind of annoyed. He's like, why are you talking to me about something this dumb? I don't know. You figure it out.
Jinping hops in and she's like, you know what? I think that you can figure this out. Last year we didn't have enough porridge and...
That wasn't a literal example. That was like a phrase.
That was an example?
Yeah, that was just like a phrase that they say. She says, the monks are plenty and the porridge is little. It's like one of those words.
Oh, okay.
And so...
One of what words?
Well, like Changyu or like one of those like phrases, like sayings.
Oh, okay.
And so she chimes in and is like, why don't you use this as an opportunity to spread peace throughout the harem by giving these strategically? And so the emperor says, Empress, you get a box of eyebrow pencil. Huafei, you get a box of eyebrow pencil.
So she can draw her eyebrows like... Does it tell us what she draws them like?
She said, long to the temple.
Long to the temple?
Long to the temple.
And Zhenhuan can also get some, so she can draw hers like the
peaked mountains.
The peaked mountains, yes.
And Jinping, I think, handles this moment really well because before he announces who gets the 3rd box, she goes ahead and says, by the way, I don't use eyebrow pencils, I just look fierce. So you don't need to waste one on me.
I don't think she was in the running.
well, but she sort of like, in one hand, helps the emperor avoid the awkwardness while also pretending to bow out when she truly was never in the running.
Yeah, because she's like, because she is sitting there and he has to make the decision right then.
Right.
It's like, yeah, don't feel pressure because I'm sitting here to give it to me.
Exactly.
I don't want it.
Exactly.
And then we found out that Jinping's efforts to create peace in the palace were not taken because we see Huafei and she's like, why the fuck am I only getting 1 box? I usually get 3.
Right. What happened?
And they're like, well, there was only 3 boxes given this year due to like shortages. And so the Empress got 1, you got 1. And she was like, oh, and that bitch Zhenhuan got 1, didn't she?
Well, because Tao Guiren was asking too, because Tao Guiren was like, I didn't get 1.
I didn't get an eyebrow
What
pencil.
happened to the other 2 ones? And Nichi Miao Miao looks guilty and a little worried, and she goes, well, it was given to Zhenhuan, and chaos. She takes out her hairpin, she slams it on the table, and is like, she gets so mad. Now, you said something while we were watching. Do you remember what you said?
No, what we missed is that the emperor mentioned that Jinping came and told the emperor that Shen Meizhuang was being poisoned.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's what I had said. We totally skipped over that.
Okay. Yeah, that was big.
And she was like, don't tell anybody I told you.
Right, because he was like, thank you for telling me. And she was like, you promised me that you'd forget it immediately. So what are you thanking me for? And
what I said was Jinping the one poisoning her?
Right. To get all of this.
It's all a plan. I don't think that she was, but...
Who knows? This show is so crazy, we may find out that is indeed what has happened. Back to Huafei getting pissed off about her eyebrow pencils. She gets so mad, and Cao Guiren is just this people pleaser. She's always like, oh, Nyang Nyang, let me help you. I'll come up with a plan. You don't need to get mad. I'll figure out something. But Huafei's not having it.
What's your plan, bitch? What's your plan?
Your last plan barely got Shen Meizhuang put in Pussy Palace, but nonetheless, Zhenhuan is on her rise. So thanks for that, bitch.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be the opposite. It was supposed to bring everybody down, but Jinhwa's just going right back up.
So she's like, you're so fucking dumb. I don't trust your plans anymore. And then she gets an evil look in her eye. Because she's like, by the way, why didn't you bring your baby?
And she's like, well, the princess was sick last night and she needs to stay indoors other than seeing the emperor.
And she says, well, why don't you bring her by?
Don't.
And in fact, actually, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have a baby. And if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't get to have your baby live with you. Because I guess all the babies go to, like, imperial kindergarten. Like, they all get taken to the baby place.
Yeah, maybe to, like, be raised by, like...
by them.
Yeah.
At the babies.
Yeah.
And so she says, you know what? Actually, my palace is better. So your daughter's going to live with me now.
I don't know how she, like, has this power. She says it's because that you're just a little Weiren. So I guess it's just her rank gives her the power to do this. And I guess because she's, like, in charge.
Well, I don't think that really the rules matter at all.
Yeah.
There's no court here. It's just whoever decides to do whatever they want. And so she fucking kidnaps her baby.
What the fuck?
Yeah, and Cao Guiren is really upset about it, and I think that, and as we see her like progress in the episode, I think that she's going to break ties with Huafei, and I hope that she does.
Well, she literally gets her baby stolen, and she says, "Bring over her nursemaids too, and when I'm gonna be your baby's mommy now, you'll have more time to think of a better plan for me."
You can think about what you can do for me. Think about what you can do for Huafei, not what Huafei can do for you.
For you, bitch.
Is that the, like...
That is a John F. Kennedy quote?
JFK quote?
A little bit, yeah. It's mostly there.
It's kind of like that.
Cao Guiren just lets it happen, basically. But let me tell you, Cao Guiren was serving with this hair. She's got 2 dangles, and she's got a deep blue.
Oh, in the blue, yeah.
Yeah.
A cerulean.
She was doing really good.
Yeah.
She was doing really good. Sucks about her baby. In the next scene, we see our girls, Zhenhuan and Anling Rong, doing some embroidery. They're making a garment for Shen Meizhuang, and they say this garment will hopefully fill her heart with warmth because she's in Pussy Palace by herself. Now, while they're working on it, Jingxi comes in and says, "Here's your eyebrow pencil. It's very expensive. You should try it on." And Zhenhuan is like, just put it over there. And then Jingxi is like, "No, bitch, you should try it on."
No, you're the only one that got this, and so you need to go put it on.
Like now. And Anling Rong, you know, famously is like, "I have no idea what's happening," says, "Ooh, that's really expensive. I've never seen it in my life.
I've never even seen it before.
That would be cute." And Jingxi is like elbowing her, winking, like, "Girl, let's go try this on," because she is passing a secret note.
She's got a secret.
She's not sitting on it. It's in her
It's in
sleeve.
her hand. But it's a note from Shen Meizhuang.
And when I saw it, I was a little horrified because
It was red ink.
It was red, and I was like, "Oh, it's been written in blood." And she's not doing well. But it basically says, "Look after yourself and Anling Rong." Basically cementing the idea that, yeah, Zhenhuan, now that she's in Pussy Prison, Anling Rong is all you got. She may not be much. She's a Dayin, but she's all we got.
Then we cut to the garden, and we see Cao Guiren, and she runs into Michi Miao Miao. And she is carrying the princess back to Huafei's palace, and she is not under the umbrella. And she's like, "Bitch, what are you doing? That is my baby. Her skin is sensitive, and she needs to be under the umbrella. We don't want a sunburn."
And she's crying, like, very loudly.
She's crying this whole episode. That she's like fucking Sarah Paulson in American Horror Story.
Give her the Emmy.
Just constantly screaming.
She is crying, and it's very hard on my ears. I don't really like children that much, so I did not enjoy the sound of the tears, but I will say I was scared this whole time. Because them stealing the baby, it's very much a threat. Mm-hmm. And it's very much, if you fuck me over, I will kill your baby type of vibes that I was getting. And Michi Miao Miao's being really disrespectful. Like, you're just a maid, and you're telling this bitch, "Okay, we gotta go. You're not allowed to touch your daughter."
She's like, you really need to calm down. She was under the umbrella. And she's like, she's not under the umbrella though.
And she's like, yeah, well, we're late, so we need to go.
Please get out of my way.
And so she runs away with the baby. The baby's crying. Cao Ren is also now crying. And she says, I've always been obedient to her, helping her come out with stratagems. But she even wants to take my child, this type of life where we have to live under a master and cannot decide our fates. When can it end?
And this is when I start to think that she's gonna try to cut ties with her.
Well, of course. But I don't think she can.
She can't because everything is gonna come back to her.
And her baby will die.
They're not gonna kill the baby.
I wouldn't say they're not going to kill a baby. Have you seen this show?
Huafei will kill a baby and put it on Cao Ren.
Maybe.
Yes.
So
that could happen.
So I think in her brain, she definitely wants to get away, but she's now in the mode of how can I get away and save my baby first? So I think the minute that she gets that baby back, she is going to go straight to the Empress.
Yeah. And now let's take a break.
Let's take a break on that. 1.
And we are back, and we see Huafei in her bed in her pussy pink pajamas, which I love these jammies. I think they're so cute.
We should get some.
We should get some of these jammies.
Okay, our next photo shoot, which we will do live on Douyin, we will be trying out Jen Huan's jammies.
We need to find a place to where we can be like in a bed like that.
Yeah, I wonder where we could go. I don't think they let us get really on the beds at the Summer Palace.
No, but I'm sure, like, whenever I first moved here and I was looking at apartments, there are some apartments that have beds like that.
Okay, well, we're going to pretend like we're moving in. We're going to find an agent who will take us to an open apartment.
No, I'm saying that we could probably find something online that you can do a photo shoot at.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Because bitches be out here doing photo shoots.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen them in the subway, like 30 people? Well, this was the great before, I should say. But there used to be people like on line 10 or something, like early in the morning, if they'd ever go to like a convention, and you just see all the girls cosplaying in the subway.
No, but we don't need to talk about this.
Okay.
Child. Anyway, so.
But she's tossing and turning. She can't sleep because Wenyi is crying.
So loudly.
And she gets up out of her bed and she's like, bring me that little bitch ass baby.
And bring the nannies too, because what the fuck?
That's the thing is like, these bitches are talking about their mom. Oh, I'm a mom. Bitch, you're not a fucking mom.
No.
It came out of you, but you're not taking care of it.
I do think that Cao Ren is probably doing more mothering than the others because her baby does like literally live with her.
Yeah.
But, you know, it takes a village.
How old is this baby? Doesn't she need a titty?
I think, yeah, they do. That's why they.
But the maids they're sucking on the maid's titties.
Yeah,
it doesn't work like that. I thought you needed it from the mother.
No, it works like that. It works like that.
You stupid fucking dinosaur!
And so she's scolding them by saying, have you tried everything? And they're like, yes, but, you know, she just misses her mom. It's a new house. Like, you just got to get used to it. It's very clear that Huafei she likes the idea of being a mom, but this scene shows me she has no maternal instincts.
I feel
whatsoever.
like maybe it could kick in if it was her own baby, but...
No, because she goes and gets the NyQuil, mama. She says, Michi Meow Meow, get my sleeping pills, mix it in some water, I'm going to give it to this baby.
And she forces it into that baby's mouth.
Yes, and the nurses are horrified.
They're like, no, you can't do that. This is not suitable for her. And she's like, it works fine on me.
Right.
I sleep just fine with it.
Uh-huh. And she's like, so remember that next time you say to me that you've tried everything. Because clearly you didn't.
And if you tell anybody that I gave this baby a sleeping pill, I'll cut your head off.
你们要敢说出去半个字，本宫就要了你们的脑袋。
That's what I mean. Like, she's kind of losing her mind. I am a Huafei stan. I mean, I've been on a journey. I didn't like her in the beginning. I fell in love with her, and now she's scaring me again.
Yeah.
This is what it's like to be an Azalea Banks fan.
Yeah.
Like, girl, you're scaring me dancing with the knife. Cooking your dead cat on Instagram Live. I guess Michi Meow Meow knows that it's wrong. Because we do get to see her little guilty face. Mm-hmm. But despite the threats from Hua Fei, we do cut to the nannies immediately the next day going to Cao Guiren to say, she's drugging your baby.
Yeah. And she's like, but there's nothing I can do about it.
Mm-hmm.
She is like, she feels helpless because she's done so many things now that if she says anything, then it's all going to fall back on her and she is really going to lose that baby.
Yeah. And the nannies also report that they're not supposed to have salt in their diets because it doesn't produce milkies. But Hua Fei does not care and hasn't been giving them the right food, so their milk has been bad. And that's why the princess has been crying.
Because they're not producing milk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's at this point that Cao Guiren tears up, she's crying, and she's just fully in despair because she says, if I ask about her too much, she's going to just be more harsh with the baby. Mm-hmm. I don't know what to do.
Okay, in the next scene, we see Hua Fei and the emperor having dinner, and he's like, bitch, you look rough.
He needs some of that. I have this like caffeine like under eye serum that I put on because I have really puffy under eyes, unfortunately. And the emperor's like, girl, your eyes are dark. You need some of that. What's wrong with you? And she was just like, taking care of the baby has been crazier than I thought. And he says, well, if it's so hard, then give her back.
And she's like,
No, she's sick.
No, she said that Cao Guiren is sick. And so she can't go back to Cao Guiren because she's sick and it's going to be bad for the baby. It'll be worse off.
Right. And Michi Meow Meow jumps in and is like, and by the way, she was doing such a great job taking care of the baby who cried all night, and that's why she looked so rough.
And that's also why the baby is so tired as well.
Right, because the emperor's like, yeah, why is the baby like fucked up all the time?
Why is he so sleepy? Because I was playing with her today, and
she was not giving the
she
wasn't to my gaga.
Yeah,
and she was, on her knees. Michi Meow Meow has jumped in for her, and so the emperor's like, all right, you've done a good job. Get up.
And then she says, yeah, she's young. It's natural that she cries. But I think in this place, that's all yin. It's all female energy. And we need some yang. We need some male energy.
Right.
And he's like, okay, fine. I'll come spend the night.
Yes, Daddy.
Right. Now, this is definitely a trick that is played by Hua Fei, and Su Peixiong notices. Because we cut to Su Peixiong looking at her like, oh, she's at it again. Mm-hmm. And the emperor says, well, yeah, tonight is the 16th, so I'll stay here. By the way, go tell Jen Huan that I'm not coming, so she can just go to bed early tonight.
What is it with the 16th? Is she, like, ovulating on the 16th or something?
Maybe that's just when the full moon is out.
Okay.
I don't know. Hua Fei is so pleased that she's won this battle with Jen Huan, and she's like, by the way, you should have the crane and turtle soup, which, culture alert, crane and turtle soup is an auspicious soup for people who are in love forever and forever. But, spoiler alert, there's no crane in the soup. It's chicken.
It's chicken.
Tastes just like chicken.
So they're in bed, and the baby's not crying. And he's like, what the fuck? I thought she was crying all night. And she's like, well, I told you we needed a little yang.
Your yang energy. It's just really giving that oomph.
And then it starts to thunder, and the emperor, like, so shockingly goes, what was that?
And she's like, that was thunder. What
do you mean, what was that?
What else could it be? It was thunder.
And I think that actually at this point, this is one of my favorite looks of the episode. His gold jammies and his confused face.
We'll post it. It's so funny. I want a sticker of that.
Yeah.
Because we cut to Jen Huan, and she dramatically throws herself out of bed at the sound of the thunder and starts crying. And Vermilion is there, and she throws open the thing and says, "My lady, I'll stay with you. I know that you've been afraid of thunder since you were a child, and the Emperor always visits you on thunderstorms, but he's cast you aside today for Huafei. Is this a little too much exposition for this one short scene?"
She's holding on to her buns.
Yes.
I don't know, like, what that is about.
It's for safety.
I would, like, hold
Duck
onto my
and
head.
cover.
I would,
Duck
like,
and
want to
cover.
cover my ears, not my hair, my wig.
Yeah, you don't want that to fall. Oh no, it wasn't Liuju, it's Jade.
It was Huambi.
It's Jade. Sorry, apologies. And she's just crying. Zhenhuan is just crying and saying, "That bitch Huafei is whispering in his ear right now." She can't take it. She's so jealous she can't take it.
And then Silong shows up.
He throws open the curtain and it says, "It's me. I'm here."
And she's like, "It's raining so heavily outside, you did not need to walk all the way over here." And she was like, "But this thunderstorm is so fierce. I do not want you to be scared."
This thunderstorm, fierce.
It's fierce.
This thunderstorm is really fierce. Has a boy ever done this for you? Cross the wind and the rain?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I can't relate.
Matt will do anything for me. He loves me.
That's great.
Whenever I was in university, he brought me coffee every single morning.
Mm-hmm. Like to your door?
To my door, yeah.
Before class?
Yeah, before I would go to class. And, like, I would always, like, because I stay up really late, like, I would always, like, wake up at the very last minute to go to class. But, like, I would, like, leave and walk out my door, and, like, my coffee would be sitting there. And little Bantam bagels. You know the Bantam bagels from Starbucks?
Oh, he would just drop it off and go?
Yeah, well, because he has a job.
Oh, my God.
And, like, if I wasn't awake in time, like, because I would always, like, sleep until the last minute, so I could just wake up, shower, and go.
That's really sweet. Shout out to Matt.
Love him.
Now, unfortunately, Huafei is not so lucky to have somebody drop her off coffee in the morning. In fact, she is in her bed, wrought with despair. Tears welling in her eyes, just staring deeply into the void, wondering how this could have happened to her.
And she's like, he is never like this. He's never been like this before. And she's crying, and she turns, and she says, "Kill her!"
Charlatan!
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 She is... Because she thought she won. She thought she won. She had him in bed. Like, how... I mean, I do empathize with her for a little bit, because if I was in bed with a man who then suddenly just left in the middle of the night because it was thunderstorming for another man, I would kill them too.
Well, I've been there. Been there too.
It's just too much.
But how do you say killed?
Sha is the verb. Shala means like, I've decided I'm going to kill her.
Yes. La, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because that's what he said in the last episode. Yeah, he just stands up and he goes, "Sha."
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I remember that.
Yes.
Now. It was the la that I wasn't getting. I was like, I don't remember saying that.
Yes. So
I think that this is the perfect time to take a break.
Yeah, I need a break after that. Hi there. It's Trenty from the world-famous White Gaze podcast. And I'm here to ask you, are you feeling sad?
Are you suffering from crippling anxiety?
Have you ever been trapped outside of a foreign country for an uncomfortable amount of time while you wait on your visa?
I'm not comfortable with sharing my trauma on the pod.
Well, either way, BetterHelp is there for you. BetterHelp is an online therapy service for people who can afford it. You can access them at betterhelp.com.
Period. There is no promo code because we are not actually sponsored by BetterHelp. But if you subscribe to our podcast, then we can use that money to pay for the services that we so desperately need.
We thank you in advance. And we are back, and I have taken a play out of the Empresses playbook, and I'm meditating because the last scene was too dramatic, and I need to consult with Amitabha Buddha.
You were talking shit like not two weeks ago about like yoga and meditating and shit. We were biking down the road. I remember we were turning on Fuxing Road, and you gave a whole like monologue of like a Buddha girl.
No, it's because we saw like 20 people on the side of the road just laying. And I am assuming they were stretching, but I was just like, wow, I just can't relate to that.
Can you give us that monologue right now?
No, I can't.
Can you make something up?
It had something to do with green juice. I'm obsessed with this idea of like, I think I would like not have depression if I just drank a green juice every day. If I could wake up every day at like 6 a.m., run 10 miles, come back and drink a green juice, who needs Prozac?
You don't take Prozac.
But I should. Listeners, I should.
Hello, sun beings and earth babies. It's time for our green juice. I don't remember what you said.
Anyways, the Empress is meditating, and she gets the news that her girls were successful in their battle against Hua Fei. Because her maid comes in and says, yeah, the Emperor was with Zhen Huan just this morning. He left Hua Fei, and so Hua Fei's eating it. And the Empress is like, well, great, I'm just glad that she's getting a taste of her own medicine. Because back in my day, Hua Fei was using all the tricks in her book to try to sneak the Emperor away from me. So I'm glad. I'm happy. What is the use of forcing someone to stay with you when his heart is not there?
Exactly. And she tells her maid to send some gifts to Zhen Huan. And she needs to get rid of the scent because she brings in the incense burner.
Well, this is a culture alert as well. The screen that she was given was by one of the governors of a province, and it is a like changing screen that has 2 mandarin ducks on it, which those will come up later. But the mandarin ducks are like an omen because they mate for life.
Oh yeah, and so she's like, give that to Zhen Huan because
it's a sign.
They need to mate for life.
Exactly. She and the Emperor, they're the ducks. Hua Fei is the ugly duckling.
Damn.
But she goes, what's that smell? What's that smell?
It's sandalwood.
Are you burning incense in here? You know I only like natural scents of fruits and flowers. Get that nasty secular smoke out of here.
Taint? Oh, it will taint the energy.
Yeah. Okay. The worldly taint. I have a worldly taint.
I was about to say taint again.
In the next scene, An Lingrong visits Zhen Huan to give her some more embroidery because we know that An Lingrong is the Trinity the Tuck of the Summer Palace. She's whipping up garments for all the girls to get some alliances, get some favors. Mm-hmm. And it works because immediately Zhen Huan is like, I'm ready for the makeover challenge. Mm-hmm. Let's get you some new clothes.
And she gets her up in this Huanbi drag. I think that's Huanbi's dress.
It looks very Huanbi because it is green.
Because it's green. Jade does like to wear green. And
Huanbi is giving stank face in the background.
She is mad. And, like, I don't really know what she's mad about. I mean, we find out later, but, like...
But at this moment, she's up to something. Uh-huh. And I could not handle it. I'm like, little girl.
She's so upset because anything wrong looks so fierce. Because we've seen her in this pink... big rose on the head thing the whole time. I think it's the only thing she owns.
she had been wearing it on the runway too many times. So I'm glad that we're finally getting a new color out of her.
Not Bosco.
Black corset and a panty.
Not a red wig and a silver dress.
Oh, I don't think. Now, I guess that there was some like double entendres here that I totally missed.
What were they?
That apparently when she was talking about what she decided to embroider, she was hinting that she was ready to be presented to the emperor again. And Jen Huan understood the meaning.
Oh, with the peach tree and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I didn't catch that either. I thought Jen Huan was just like, oh, let's help the girl out.
And so then Jen Huan is like, now that you're beautiful, let's go, girls.
And so they pack up their stuff and they're going to go on a walkabout in the garden. And was that a good Australian accent?
No.
They're going to go on a walkabout. And Anything Wrong is going to just sing.
Yes. Now, from atop the hill, they're talking about the auspicious Ghost Lantern Festival. And the Emperor is with the Empress, who is fucking fierce.
Yeah, she looks so good.
She is Raja.
Yeah.
She serves it every single time. It's in like red, and she's got this big circular golden hair still with the tangles. It's just, oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah, she looks so cute.
She looks really fucking fierce. But then they hear something on the wind. A beautiful voice is singing.
确实难得。
I can lick it, I can ride it while you slipping and sliding. I can do.
I mean, they did put some reverb on her voice.
It's the reverb.
There is definitely, and she did not know the words.
No, she is not. She is not the Empress. She is not the lip sync assassin.
No. And so there is a lot of lip syncing happening, but the song is fierce.
Which I did not know this until Trenton pointed it out, that the Empress is all voiceovers in this show.
Yeah.
That she's not actually, that's not her voice.
No, but...
It is her voice, or?
No, it's not her voice. So specifically for her, she is a Hong Kong actress. So
the accents don't
her
line up.
accent is too fierce for this time period. So they put in, voiceover after the fact. But I will say, I think everybody on the show the voice is added in post.
Yeah.
Because just the films that I've been a part of, they don't actually they have boom mics, they have area mics, but a lot of the time what they'll do is when they're editing, they'll just have us redo the lines into a mic.
So you film it and you're actually saying the lines.
Yes.
But then you re-say them.
But then we re-say them later in a dark van. So I think everybody is lip syncing, but truly in this moment, her mouth is not matching the song. But it sounds really fierce. And we think that we're going to see the Emperor and the Empress come down to congratulate her on her beautiful vocal performance. But who comes around the block?
Coiffé.
Oh, bitch. I was scared. I was really, really scared because we already know that she wants to literally kill them. They were next to a pond. So who knows what could happen?
Not in broad daylight, and she's not going to do it herself.
I guess. But we've never seen her this mad, so I just don't truly know what could be happening.
And she's like, you know what? This is really funny seeing you out here singing with your dad is a convicted criminal.
And Jen Huan puts on a smile and she goes, he's not.
He's not a criminal. He was actually acquitted, so.
He was acquitted. And Hua Fei is like, being acquitted doesn't mean you're not guilty.
But it does.
I mean, literally, that's what it means. But she was like, it doesn't mean you're 100% not guilty.
It only happened because you and your friends were out here snippy snapping in all the ears.
Mm-hmm. And she's like, and your singing, it's just very shameless. And it really violates our code of ethics and morality. Out in public? Really? You're going to sing that slut song? And Jen Huan is like, no, the lyrics are pretty clean. This is the Kids Bop version. It's not... She's not singing WAP out here.
And she's like, no, cuff the flowers. Not cuff the flowers. What is it?
Cull the flowers.
Cull the flowers. She's like, that means you want your pussy ate.
Right. Flowers means pussy, girls. And you're saying, oh, the flower is ripe. Oh, so you want to get the bees? All right, come on, bees. Bees.
Come on, flowers.
Come on, other kind of flowers.
Come on, Nina flowers. Jinhwan comes back and she's like, no, you're misinterpreting it. It means that... What does she say that it means?
Cull the flowers means cull the flowers.
It literally just means like, that flower's in bloom, go pick it and put it in your face at home.
Cull the flowers. Literally just means cull the flowers. And Huafei is like, no, I'm the head of the harem. I'm going to use my iron fist to punish you. So y'all bitches better get on your knees while I decide to think about what to do here, mama.
And then the emperor pops in and he's like, oh, what a beautiful song.
Well, I screamed and I ran out of the room because, you know, we see that he's there like eavesdropping, but then when they cut to the wide shot, he's like right in the middle of them. And so like when Huafei discovers that he's there, she's so shocked, but it's like he was in your line of sight. He was right there.
Well, we know that the blocking of the set is not.
I couldn't handle it. I was like, oh my god, they're doing too much.
The blocking of the set has always been questionable.
So he comes down and he says, Huafei, why do you look mad?
Oh yeah, and she goes, this is broad daylight and she's singing such a song in the garden. Why is she singing this slutty eat my pussy song?
And he laughs, and he turns to the Empress, who we know. I mean, I know what she's going to say. Even if she was singing WAP in the garden, I knew the Empress was going to go, I loved it.
Yeah, the emperor turns around and goes, well, let's ask the audience.
And the Empress is like, I loved it. She has a celestial voice.
Celestial. Ooh, I love that word.
I want to have a celestial voice.
Sadly, you will never.
Wow! Wow! Now, the Emperor does go over to her and says, raise your head and what's your name? Which I'm like, you chose her. You have seen her before.
She was like, I know you remember that shaky ass bitch that wouldn't fuck you.
Right, you said never in the for the first time in herstory this happens. And now you don't remember. I mean, this is a good thing for her, I guess.
It is good for her. But also, it's like, how many bitches does he have? Because we only see a certain amount.
That's true.
Is that all of them, or is there more?
Jen Shuijia, we need your help. How many concubines are in the palace? Is there like a full roster? I know the cast is small, but yeah, we just don't know.
But like historically, like how many girls are there?
How many girls? And so she goes up and she says, my name is Anling Rong.
And Huafei is like, you need to say your highness.
Bitch. And then the Empress is like, well, she's going to be around for a very long time, Huafei, so you'll have tons of chances to teach her.
Then Jinhwan is like, I'm going to go now. I'm getting a little tired.
I'm sleepy. I need to go. And so then Anling Rong is like, I'll go too.
Well, I was thinking like, no, bitch, you stay.
No, because you leave them wanting more. Because she literally walks, she turns her head to look behind her, she cracks a little smile, and the Emperor just goes,
And then we see him and he's like, no, bring her back. I want her back.
Bring back my girls.
Where they at?
Bring them back.
And then Su Pei-sheng comes and catches up with Jinhwan and Enling Rong, and he's like, you've been summoned back.
I was gagging for her. I'm so happy. Because she knows.
Yeah.
Jinhwan knows, Anling Rong knows, the Emperor knows what this means. She's getting a second chance.
And we cut to the other girls, and Huafei is very upset, but the Empress is super excited.
Mm-hmm.
This is what she wanted.
Because when she comes back, immediately the Empress is like, oh, Hua Fei, we gotta go plan some shit. Hua Fei, let's go. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, I guess we're alone now. And we do go back to Zhen Huan, who is suddenly crying. And she goes on a monologue about how, does the piece of fabric hurt when the needle goes through? Every stitch is necessary in a beautiful garment, but at what cost? And I'm like, girl, this is too much.
Bitch, that's not what she should be worried about. She should be worried about where the fucking silkworms, where the fucking silk comes from.
Okay, Peta.
Wait, does that even like hurt the silkworms to get the silk from them?
No, because the silk is actually the cocoons.
They just produce it. It just.
They're not hooking them up to milkers. They're just. They collect the silk cocoons after a while.
This isn't the Slurm factory from Futurama.
No. And so she's crying, and she's losing me a little bit. But these girls, they be testy.
All these bitches want to try to be my bestie. Better keep it left and keep them hanging like a testy.
Lisa Leslie?
Wrong. Yeah, sound about Lisa Leslie.
Well, let's give it up for Anling Rong. We're so proud of you.
But she doesn't know the words.
Let's get into that after the break.
Okay. Oh, I love this pink guava drink.
Introducing the new guava green tea frozen smoothie from Yidian. One taste will transport you back to all of the tropical shores of all of the destinations that you would like to visit, but you cannot because of travel restrictions. Tasting of guava and green tea, you can imagine yourselves frolicking between the waves. Head on down to Yidian now.
You can buy this drink between the months of June and July, so it is no longer available. Okay, we're back, and we see that Anling Rong is performing for the Emperor.
She's got choreo. She's moving her hands. The song is fierce.
It's the same song that she was singing before.
Right, about getting her flower plucked.
Yeah. And then, so what I think was happening, because he like throws an apple at her. Does this mean something?
Let me know. I mean, is it erotic to eat an apple? They're very chewy. Like, eat this apple, bitch.
It needs to be like a peach to where it can like the juice can like drip from your mouth and you can wipe it all sexy.
Yeah.
But what I think was happening in this scene was it was like the song was more of like a.
Yeah, you would say like soundtrack, background music.
Not background. I think it was supposed to be like that, and there was supposed to be no audio from the actual scene.
Yeah.
That is just like soundtrack. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why her lips were off.
Okay, I see. But right outside, Prince Guo comes, the 17th prince, and he's like, I'm ready to play chess.
And they're like, no, not tonight, baby.
It's going down.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, who's that I hear? Is there another Lady Melodic?
Lady Melodic.
Is she back? No, this girl's better. Wait, who is she?
They're like, it's anything wrong.
And he's like, I never heard of her. I thought this was Zhen Huan. I thought this was Wang Guiren. And Su Peixiang is like, well, there's a new girl in town. We got a new number one. Emperor's favorite pussy. Anling Rong. Can you believe it? Anling Rong. Anling Rong was number one in the voting. I could not believe it.
We go back in the next scene. We see Anling Rong, and she's brushing over her embroidery, and she's crying because her life is turning around.
She's a woman now.
Because like 10 episodes ago, she ran out. She was shaken in the burrito.
Exactly.
And things are turning around for her, which is good.
She's a little like Miley Cyrus. Have you heard that interview from her?
No, which one?
Miley says that the minute she got fucked, she never wanted to be Hannah Montana again. Like the minute it happened, she was like, I'm a woman. I can't be doing this Disney Channel shit no more.
There's no way that she did not get fucked until the end of Hannah Montana.
Well, I don't know how old she was. It was probably after the series, but maybe before the movie. Because she was like touring as Hannah Montana.
Yeah.
Now, her maid is like really surprised to see her. She's like, oh, I didn't hear you come in. And she's like, yeah, because I walked.
And she's like, why did you walk?
And she says, before when I walked on the pavements, I always had to look down and be cautious. But now I've become a real girl. So I want to experience the difference. I want to look at the trees and the flowers. Life is beautiful. That's the power of the dick, mama.
Mm-hmm. She's a woman.
She's a woman.
It worked for Ending Wrong. It worked for Miley Cyrus, and it can work for you.
Something tells me that our listeners, well, I don't know.
What, all take dick?
Yeah,
There might be some lesbians out there.
maybe.
Shout out to the lesbians.
Yeah, you need more recognition.
Speaking of lesbians, just kidding.
Jem is trimming her plants. And she's in a bad mood too. She's like snipping it. She's like snip the flowers, ripping it off.
They weren't even flowers, they were leaves. I don't know why she was trimming it like that. Well, I guess it was a bush.
Yeah.
Speaking of lesbians.
And her maid Jinxie is like, why aren't you happier about this? And she's like, about what? We knew this was going to happen. Don't talk about it. Shut up.
But then she's like, well, Anne's here.
And she comes in, and Jade, this fucking bitch, is like, wow, you look different.
And she was like, and you don't need to come here every day.
Right. You didn't used to. Why are you doing it now?
Why? You've been here 3 days in a row. Why are you here?
Immediately, Jen Juan is like, bitch, go get us some fucking tea.
The tea has been steeping for 3 minutes and it's ready. Go get it.
Go get it. Get out of sight. And Anling Rong is very proud of herself. She's wearing a new outfit again. 2 new outfits in 1 episode.
Well, because she got gifted this new outfit after she went and paid her respects to the Empress.
And it is this amazing waterproof fabric that glistens in the sun as you walk. And it's very rare. There were only 5 garments sent to the palace. And she got 1.
She got 3, I thought.
Well, no, she got 5, but she could only keep 1 for herself. She was like, I can't keep them all. I gave 1 to the Empress.
I gave 1 to Huafei.
And I want you to have these 2, Jen Juan.
Oh, she gave her 2.
She gave her 2.
Oh, okay. But Jade comes back in and gives the tea and sets Jen Juan's down and then just slams the other one in front of Anything Wrong.
Well, again, I mean, these girls, they're crazy, so I am always afraid of, like, what are they about to do? Because they're just, like, very firecrackery. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, is she about to, like, spill the tea on her new dress? Is she about to, like, pull her hair? These girls don't know how to process their emotions.
Yeah. And Anything Wrong is asking Jen Juan, she's like, are you mad at me?
Right, if you're mad, I'll never go back.
And she's like, no, of course I'm not mad. Like, this is how it goes. Mm-hmm. I'm happy for you for your accomplishment, and I'm the one that made it happen, so why can I blame you?
Mm-hmm. In the next scene, Jade and Vermilion are outside tending to some plants, and Jade is still fucking complaining. She's like,
why is something wrong here again?
No, she's saying, why isn't she here? She was coming and now she hasn't been here for 3 days. What a fucking bitch.
And Vermilion's like, well, it's too hot to walk. Like, even the Empress said that, like, we don't need to go see her because it's too hot. Mm-hmm. And
then Jade gives it away because she smiles and says, well, as long as His Majesty keeps coming, I'm happy. And Vermilion's like, girl, what
you
the
little
fuck?
slut.
You little slut. You like him. And Jade goes, no, I don't.
And they're chasing each other around the garden. And then Jinxie comes out and she's like, my lady is inside and y'all need to calm down.
It is a good scene, though, because it reminds us that these girls are probably 12.
Yeah.
They're very young.
Yeah.
Like, and we never see them, like, doing girly things. So I like it when we get to see them, like, you know, be their age. And
It did happen.
what did happen?
Whenever we were watching it, I asked if she got promoted, and she did. She's Changzai now.
I completely missed that.
Yeah, she's not An Dai-ying anymore. She's An Changzai.
Oh, my God. Wait,
She
when
got-
did that happen?
When she got fucked.
Oh, my God. Is her cookie that magic?
I guess it is, and it's also the voice.
It is the voice.
Well, you know what they say about us good singers? We know how to suck dick.
Who said that?
Did we not say that? I thought we already said that.
No, we did say that. You know who told me that? She told me that. Well, okay. Well, great. So she's Changzai already, and Jade is pissed about it. She's like, Jingxi, you're taking her some food right now. Zhenhuan cares more about her than us, because we're just fucking maids. And she storms off inside.
Jinxi is like, yeah, you are a maid. Exactly.
Like, girl, what has gotten into you?
That's the point of it. You are a maid. And she goes in there to Zhenhuan, and Zhenhuan is like, what is your problem? You've been being so bitchy. And then Wang came over here, you were bitchy to her. You need to calm the fuck down.
Mm-hmm. And she is a conspiracy theorist, Jade is. Because Jade is like, don't you think she's kind of a little villain? Because she came over here bragging about her new Vera Wang gown. She's over here, like, pretending like she is shy, but she's rubbing it in your face that she's fucking him. And she's, like, the number one girl now. Like, she's not a good girl.
And she's like, you need to calm down. She's like, I'm going to give you the dress that she gave us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's like, don't forget, you're a maid. But by the way, you get a gown.
And she's like, okay.
Great, thank you. So the episode ends with Zhenhuan just staring basically at camera, being like, fuck, this girl's annoying me.
Who, anything wrong or Huan Bi?
Huan Bi.
Yeah.
Like, end of episode, she's just frozen staring, like, ugh. And there you have it, episode 16.
Yeah. Nice to know that our predictions did not come true about ending wrong. I feel like before we were saying that, like, she's over, she's done. But
I'm glad that she's had this comeback.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for more of her.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to check in with Shen Mei Zhuang. We didn't see her at all this episode.
We'll get more story from her because I don't think she's just done.
No, I don't think.
Something will come up.
She better be in episode 17.
Again, I think it will just all ultimately fall on Cao Kui-ren.
Yeah. I hope in the next episode we get to see more of this baby drama. I hope she does return the baby.
Yeah.
Safely.
Mm-hmm.
Without any brain damage.
Right?
From the NyQuil.
I mean, it can't be that bad because it's, like, natural, isn't it?
I mean, technically all things are natural.
No. If it's made in a lab, it's not natural.
But where'd it come from? The digital world?
Oh my god. You're the one that watches the fucking science videos on YouTube.
No, I know. But that's why, like, everything is natural. Like, plastic is natural because it occurs in the natural, like, it is made up of polymers that we experience in this planet.
I'm not going to get into this with you.
Okay, it's not, maybe we could say it's not like, okay, I know what you mean.
Yes, I'm saying that it is tea. They pick it off the tree, they eat it or drink it, and
Yeah,
it
but
makes
it
them go
could
to
be
sleep.
opium. She's a crack baby now.
Oh my god. Poppies.
Well, why don't we take a quick break and then we'll come back for our looks and language.
Alrighty, let's do it.
Hey, Cam!
Hey, Gio!
Guess what?
What?
We're doing a podcast!
We are doing a podcast, an unofficial Disney podcast.
Yes! Yes! Ooh, I love Disney!
And do you know what makes us different from other podcasts?
Yes, we're not two white women drinking wine and talking about true crime.
Well, yeah, but besides that, we're reviewing Disney animated classics without any accreditation.
Oh, yeah, that too. That's right. We're not film critics or mental health professionals.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, but we are adults with opinions about the films that shaped our childhood.
This pod is perfect for Disney lovers from moderate to extreme.
And it's designed for the Disney adult in mind. So take your multivitamin or your Boniva and prepare your cocktail, because Cam and I are ready to walk down memory lane.
And answer the tough questions like, how did Ariel decide which sea creatures are her friends and which ones are underwear?
Oh wait, where does Tarzan get his body waxed?
Right!
We're gonna answer all them questions. So tune into Your Bare Necessities, the unofficial, much-needed Disney podcast.
Available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast. Forget about your worries and your strife. You got the...
You don't have to sing Fade It Out. You can just sing and I could fade you. It's an audio medium.
And we are back, and we are just in time for...
本周心机争宠装。
This is the part of the show where we talk about our favorite looks that the girls are giving.
Yes.
And maybe the boys.
Rarely, it has happened.
I don't think it has.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we gave it to the Emperor one time, yeah. Which I want to give it to the Emperor this time just because of his reaction to the thunder.
Okay, that is our number one meme, but a meme is not a look, okay? I mean, he's giving a look, but it's not a fashion look. Now, I have a top two, and I need your help deciding.
Yeah, I also feel like I have the same top two.
So, first of all, I have to give it up for the Empress because she served so hard for such a short amount of time. It was impactful. Right? I'm still talking about it, and she was in that scene for maybe a minute.
Yeah, it was a very short scene. She wasn't the star of this episode.
It was the red, it was the head, it was everything.
And then the other one is Ending Wrong.
Yes. But it's hard to say. Are you talking about her green look or her purple look this episode?
I'm talking about the green look.
The green was a serve, and it truly prepared her to serve.
Exactly, and so that's why I think it needs to go to her.
All right, congratulations. Anne Ling Rong, you are our number one girl this week.
Yes.
Congratulations.
And that was...
本周心机争宠装。
Next, we have a very fun segment called Whispers in the Palace. And I truly love this segment because we get to connect with our listeners who get to give us behind-the-scenes tips, things that we've missed that maybe we didn't talk about on a previous episode, or more importantly, corrections. And so today, I have a very important whisper from Sam. And Sam lets us know on the record that we may have been spreading some historical lies and fallacies. Are you ready for it? Mm-hmm. So Sam says, this is actually a whisper in the White House.
Whispers in the White House.
This is a whisper in the White House because he says, George Washington was born in the year 1732 and Zhenhuan Zhuan is set in 1722. So George Washington was not even born yet when this show has happened. But the dates do cross a little, but he definitely does not become the president until 1798. So when I said that he was the emperor and George Washington is the president, that is not true. And so I'd like to apologize, but reiterate, we are not a history podcast.
Well, because we weren't aware it was 1722. We know that there was no...
No, I think it told us in episode 1.
Well, I fully thought it was 1812. So.
But thank you, Sam, for correcting us on the record. And I do want to apologize to the historians out there, but you should find a new podcast.
Right? This is not a history podcast, and I've said it multiple times. Our next whisper comes from the Magpie Bridge Brigade.
Yes.
And Carson tells us that he loves that we struggle how to say Magpie Bridge Brigade.
Well, it is a little bit of a tongue twister.
But they tell us that the girls call their monthlies. So whenever the girls have their period, you can say, do you know how to read this?
Pass it to me. We can say, 我的大阿妈来了.
So that means that my big auntie is here.
Which he says could be another translation of an English phrase that my Aunt Flo has arrived.
Yeah, we can say Aunt Flo, just like to where it's not just like okay, never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
I am bleeding.
Yeah, like I'm on my period. It's just like a more like subtle way to say that I'm on my period. Saying
right.
Aunt Flo is visiting.
And the boys in middle school are like, oh, I didn't know you had an aunt.
He's saying that there's probably lots of crossovers between phrases like this in Chinese and English. And that the Chinese phrase probably came from this.
And that's the true magic of language, isn't it? That language evolves over time based on the sharing of cultures and how they can impact each other.
Okay. And thank you so much for your whispers, boys and girls. And if you have anything to say to us, you can find us on White Gaze Podcast on Instagram, Douyin, TikTok. We have Weibo.
We do have Weibo. We have iFadian, where you can also become a subscriber.
And we also have the Anchor.
And we have Anchor subscriptions as well. So many chances to interact with us and contribute to Whispers in the Palace. All right, y'all. So I am so excited for this challenge of language today. It is a little bit of revenge because last week during the tongue twister challenge, I definitely won, but the judge said what she said. So I feel very Monet Exchange. Mm-hmm. But now I get to have my revenge. And we are going to go back to a game that we played a long time ago called How Many Strokes?
Okay.
Now, I've been looking for a way to bring this game back because it was very fun for me. And so I hope that this game is fun for you. But I want to dedicate this game of How Many Strokes to our good Judy Demi. You've done so much for us. You've done so much for the Jinshuijia English community. And although this was your last episode that you have done a recap for, and it has been 5 years since you updated your blog, we are so gracious and we can't wait for you to return. So in this game of How Many Strokes, I am going to give Weston the characters for how to say Demi in Chinese. Daimi.
Okay.
And you have to tell me how many strokes are in each of the characters.
Okay.
Now, if you don't get this right, there is going to be a bonus round. So if you can win this one, you win the challenge. But if you don't get this one right, it's okay. You have one more bonus, okay? So here are the two characters for Daimi. Mm-hmm. Now, you probably have seen this character before.
Yeah.
Because it means...
rice.
There we go. All right. It took him a while, but he got there. All right. So I want you to look at the two characters, and I want you to tell me how many strokes are in each of the characters.
Does Dai have 15?
I want you to say it more loudly and more confident as a final answer.
Okay, well then let me try again.
Okay.
Oh. One more recount. Okay, Dai has 16. And me has 6.
Oh my god, you got it! I fucking hate you. How did you get that?
I counted the strokes.
Maybe you do know Chinese.
Well, because you thought you were going to get me with this box, but I know that this is one stroke.
Oh, you did.
Because you can even see it with the little hook down there. Because one stroke.
Because I wrote it correctly. I should have. You were making fun of my handwriting before, and now my handwriting gave it away. So you should be thanking me for my handwriting.
Well, you know what? I've done my fucking Hello Chinese app a few times, and I know that this is one of the strokes.
Damn it! Okay, so congratulations, you've done it. Now,
there we go.
Would you still like to do the bonus?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so there is another iconic Demi in our lives, and their name is Demi Lovato. So I have presented you with the 4 characters Chinese translation of what her nickname is. She is called 厕所天后.
What is that like? Is that like goddess of the bathroom?
Yes, it is. Unfortunately, Demi Lovato's Chinese nickname does mean toilet queen. Do you know why?
No.
Because Lovato sounds like lavatory.
Oh, yeah.
So that is where this comes from. Now, if you can tell me all the different number of strokes, then you, I guess, will win the bonus as well.
Okay. So it is 6.
I want your final answer. I want you to count them all.
Okay.
Damn, I really thought I got you.
You may have gotten me on this one. Because this one, I don't know if it's 1 or 2. 2 strokes. So, tches is 7. Tuo is 8. Tian is 4. And huo is also 4.
All right, so tse is 8.
So these are 2.
Is 8.
Okay.
Tian is 4, and ho is 6. So you got 2. You got 2 out of 4.
So this is 2 different.
Those are 2. Yeah. You do the top one first, and then the side one next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's in tuo and ho as well.
Mm-hmm. So that's why.
So I counted it in tse, but I didn't in. But I counted it as 2 in suo.
So you could get one of them right. So, all right.
Just to figure it out. Just to try to figure it out. Yeah.
Because you did get the first one correct. You did win the challenge. And so, congratulations, I guess. But I'll get you one of these days. There will be a challenge where you lose. I'm going to make you read again. And I'm going to make the listeners listen to you reading again.
Yeah.
But I think all that's left for us to say is... 再见. If you like White Gaze, we would love for you to leave a review of our podcast, give us 5 stars, and don't forget to subscribe to our podcast wherever you listen from. You can also support us by signing up to be a subscriber by going to anchor.fm/whitegaze/subscribe.
You can follow us at @reverse_cowboy_ and at Officer Trenty, and our White Gaze account is at White Gaze Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, Douyin, TikTok, and the Anchor app. White Gaze is not endorsed by Beijing TV Art Center. It is intended for entertainment purposes only. Zhen Huanjuan and all names, audio, pictures, and video clips are all registered trademarks and/or copyrights of their respected trademark and/or copyright holders. White Gaze is a podcast hosted by Weston Swift and Trenton Schneiders. Produced by Trenton Schneiders and Monty Shaw. Sound and audio by Trenton Schneiders. Media by Monty Shaw. Our theme song is White Gaze by Trenton Schneiders and Weston Swift.
And I hope that we can be a part of that long history of affecting language.
Mm-hmm.